And this theory starts with subliminal messages in children's shows.
Goodbye, cruel world.
Now I'm going to warn you, this next theory is dark, and probably one of the most unsettling ones we've ever talked about on this channel. And this theory starts with subliminal messages in children's shows.
I am now going to assault your mind with subliminal messages.
Now we've talked about this before, but usually we talk about the sexual messages that are hidden in cartoons. By far, SpongeBob SquarePants has the most. There's jokes about prison,
Don't drop them.
Patrick licking a pile of sand, and plenty more.
Who wants to lick my cheeks?
But those are all just jokes and clearly hidden for adults.
Oh yeah.
But there's a lot of other darker messages that have been hidden in this show, and most of them involve suicide.
I can't seem to get happy. Maybe this will help.
That's right. In a 2001 episode called Are You Happy Now?, Squidward is seen suffering from depression.
Wake me when I'm dead.
There's scenes of him walking around in a dazed state, and there's even scenes where it looks like he's trying to kill himself. Like this one, where he puts his head in an oven.
I just can't seem to get happy.
But by far the darkest moment is when SpongeBob goes over to his house to make sure he's okay.
Now I'm really worried.
And then he says this.
Well, at least we know he's still alive.
Yeah, that might be some of the darkest shit I've ever seen on TV, let alone a kid's show. But it's not just this episode. There's tons of other episodes that have suicide references too.
What's the point of going on?
There's an episode where Plankton tries to get himself hit by a car.
Go away, cheesehead! Can't you see I'm trying to get run over?
There's an episode where SpongeBob stabs himself to death.
In ancient times, one would fall on their sword by way of apology.
Yeah, that's almost glorifying suicide. There's even an episode where a character goes to kill himself, and then they say this.
Someday, but not today.
Someday, but not today, making it seem inevitable. But then, as I was looking into it, I found that suicide references have been in a lot more cartoons than just SpongeBob. Here's the ending scene from a Looney Tunes cartoon called Bare Feet from 1949.
Well, there's still one way out. I'm going to be free. Free at last.
Yeah, free at last. Once again, glorifying suicide, making it look exciting.
We died together.
And there are hundreds.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna blow my brains out.
I mean, Bugs Bunny. Daffy Duck.
There was nothing for the Scarlet Pumpernickel to do but blow his brains out. To which he says,
Woody Woodpecker.
If I had a gun, I'd shoot myself.
Daisy Duck.
Goodness, I didn't want to live.
And a bunch of cartoon episodes just ending with characters killing themselves for no reason. Now I know, this sounds crazy, but it goes even farther back. There's a Mickey Mouse comic from 1930 where Mickey gets threatened because Minnie's getting hit on by another guy.
What you need is someone like me to protect you, Minnie.
Huh? Now I know I don't like that guy.
Then he sees them kissing.
Good gosh! Say it isn't so!
Then he falls into a depression.
Gosh, well, I never thought Minnie would fall for somebody else. Everybody seems happy. Why does the world have to be down on me?
And then he decides the only option is to kill himself.
Oh, what's the use? She doesn't care for me anymore. What is there to live for? Without Minnie, I might as well end it all.
The comic even goes so far to show Mickey setting up a homemade suicide contraption using a shotgun, 2 chairs, and a string, which actually did become a common way that people would kill themselves.
Goodbye, Minnie. Goodbye, cruel world. 1, 2. Huh? Oh.
Then he tries to jump off a bridge.
Goodbye, cruel world!
Then when that attempt didn't work, he closed all the windows and closed all the doors, turned on the gas.
I'll turn on this gas and end it once and for all.
So he could pass out and die in his sleep.
Goodbye, Minnie. Goodbye, cruel world.
And he even tries to hang himself.
Gee, I'm sure having a tough time trying to put an end to myself. But my worries will soon be over.
In that comic strip alone, there's 4 different examples on how to kill yourself. Even in this Daisy Duck cartoon, you can see there's 6 options for suicide. A gun, hanging, knife, poison, grenade, and a bomb. So what's the theory? Well, what if they've been planting it inside our minds since we were kids that suicide is an option? So when you hit a fork in the road and you don't know what to do, you have a backup plan. Because the first 5 years is when your brain develops the most and is the most impressionable. So wouldn't it make sense to start planting that idea then?
Maybe this will help.
Yes, people have severe depression and suicidal thoughts, me included in the past. But maybe some of us think of it as an option because when we were kids, we were told it would set us free. So why would they want to plant suicide in our brains? Well, some people think it might be a form of population control. Some people think it's to keep society in a weak, depressed, and fearful state. Because a weakened society is easier to control. I mean, think about it. We have kids who are depressed, and then we're medicating them and putting them on pills, and then sitting them in front of a TV where they're watching their favorite cartoon character kill themselves, and also making it seem exciting.
Goodbye, everyone. I'll remember you all in therapy.
I mean, the global antidepressant market is estimated at over $11.6 billion. The government and the economy love depression. And we also glorify things like money, fame, success.
Is that what you're going for?
I mean, I'd love to be a billionaire, sure, why not?
Guys, we are washing the Supreme Ferrari right now.
Who pissing on their money? Ain't nobody doing that shit like me, fuck boy.
So if someone happens to not achieve those things, now in the back of their heads, they know that suicide is an option.
I reckon I ain't got no alternative.
I mean, just think about the board game that was targeted to us as kids.
Anything can happen in the game of life.
The game of life, where the goal is to succeed, and if you don't, you lose.
Where will your choices take you in the game of life?
You can be a winner at the game of life.
To win the game of life, you need to make money.
So select my pick.
Get famous.
Be a movie star.
Do better than those that you're playing against.
I made $50,000 in the stock market. I went to the poor farm. That's live.
Literally, the commercial says, I mean, come on. And in the original version of Life in 1860 that was created by Milton Bradley, it literally had suicide on the board as an option.
That's live.